Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the grand finals of the major All-Stars European Qualifier. Here we've got NiP versus Empire. What started as a best of 5 has been whittled down to a best of 3 upon both of these teams agreeing to have a slightly shorter day on the docket. It is getting late in the EU, so, well, if teams agree, we don't have any problems with it. I'm Zyori, joined again by Kotlguy. Dakota, welcome to the grand finals, good sir.
Well, thanks for having me, Zyori. I feel good. I hope you had a quality break. I got some food in my belly, and I'm feeling ready to cast some Dota here. So, Empire taking on NiP, the head-to-head. It is a 4-0 stomp to the way of Empire. They took down NiP easily in Star Ladder 2-0 and have done the same already once previously, earlier in this bracket for Major All-Stars. So, yet is NiP to even get a win column here. Empire have looked very studly as of recent. It was unfortunate we didn't get to see them perform in DAC to see how they really match up against what many consider the upper echelon of Dota caliber, teams, but I still feel pretty confident that they are right up there. If they're not tier 1, they're like tier 1.2,
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Still struggling with consistency a little bit, but one thing I love about both these teams is they're not afraid to try something a little bit different, especially NiP. They will experiment out. They've been known to have some funky drafts up their sleeves. We've seen them do minus armor strategies, build around the Veno, and now they've got the addition of Limp in the place of Ape Mother to spice things up that much more. Let's take a look at these initial picks and bans. Empire taking out the Redman Axe as well as Chen. Saw a hell of a lot of Chen in the last series. No surprise to see a little respect coming out against Handskin. Handskin himself, the draft for NiP, bans out the Wisp as well as the Troll Warlord, opening up for a first pick Dazzle for Empire, and then right into the Vengeful Spirit for the Ninjas in Pajamas.
I imagine at this point they're contemplating whether they want to take the Bat Rider for themselves right now. It's good to have Bat and Vengeful side by side. Otherwise, Empire, I don't imagine they'll take it, from here on out. And, it's obvious that if you're going against Empire, at least from what I saw at Star Ladder, Axe better be out of the question. Yoki's Axe at Star Ladder was out of control. It was top-notch, record-breaking performances from his Axe play, which really set the standard for what we see out of Axe now. So it's no surprise that they got to make sure they get rid of it. But really sweating out the clock here as far as what they want to prioritize. If they want to continue on supports, they got a good wealth of options out there. You got your Lion still available if you want to go with a quick initiation. We see some teams kind of deter early and get like an Ancient Apparition. I don't see where it would really suit here, but this pick, with how much time they're wasting on it, must be something. Okay, right. Shadow Fiend. Sniper's still out there. Sniper's a good matchup against Shadow Fiend if they want to go down that road, but it looks like Bristleback's going to be the immediate response.
Okay, so Empire, they knew exactly what they wanted to do. They'll take the minus armor from Weave with the huge physical from that Bristleback, and I'll call it a match made in heaven. They're probably ready to throw Bristle in the off lane, I would guess. Most likely your Yoki hero. But we'll see what they want to do with him. Shadow Fiend should be pretty good. I believe that'll be played by Limp, or possibly Era, depending on how NiP see these lanes settling down. There's that sniper ban like you were talking about, third from NiP.
Yeah, the thing is the nice thing that NiP had going for them, even if they didn't want to ban the sniper and maybe bait out an option for Empire to pick it up, is that they still had plenty of picks and they could have got a Clockwork, but maybe fearing that if they didn't ban the sniper here, Empire probably would save out the Clockwork for themselves and they wouldn't have the ban available. Tusk ban, though, that is pretty peculiar. Empire did run it, I believe, in their finals in the series that they had for Star Ladder, but not a pickup you see a whole lot often. You definitely, and this early, they anticipate like, oh, Dazzle, Bristle. This is a Tusk lineup to just be like, okay, we got to make sure we get rid of that, but I don't know, man.
We saw him picked earlier in this tournament at least once. I'm trying to remember who played him. It could have been Empire, though it might have also been Hellraisers. Was played at least once in this tournament, so a pocket pick that may come out, but here we go. I'm glad I mentioned minus armor strats because it seems like that is the pocket strat that NiP wants to go for. Hell, both teams want to go for a little bit of minus armor here, but Venge with the Howl, the presence of the Dark Lord, now the amp damage. The Slardar, he's going to come a-crushing. Watch out, clear the ways, because that Trident is going to be hurt.
They did this in Starladder. I wish I could look at the match now, but they did a face roll kind of a lineup. I don't think they had Shadow Fiend at that time, but it was like non-stop. They just would not let go whatsoever. I, in fact, think Ninjas and Pajamas had Bristle on their own side for that
I want to say that they had Bristle and Dazzle, actually, but it was built around a Slardar. They also had, that was the game where they ended up going with the Ember Spirit, who got a Desolator, and it ended up being genius because, hey, Sleight of Fist, if they're all grouped up, you get an auto attack on all those heroes. So you apply that minus armor debuff, and there is just really no way for them to deal with it between the Bristle and the Slardar. But here, they're going to lose a little bit of their core strategy. Of course, some of it does revolve around on that fast Blink Dagger on the Slardar. If he has free farm, may stop off for a Vanguard first. But getting that mobility tool will be a key instrument in the success of NiP, and I think that means we'll see that safe lane Slardar, as now Empire pick up Earthshaker.
Yeah, if we wanted to be able to talk numbers here, for Slardar on NiP, they have played it 4 times already this patch. They're currently 3-1, so 75% win rate for that, and paired together with some serious freaking minus arm. I mean, Vengeful Spirit, Shadow Fiend, Slardar, that is Roche made of paper. One of them will probably get an AC to only boost the minus armor even further and make it that much worse for Empire. I imagine they're thinking the same thing as well. They get their Earthshaker, they get their long-range disable, a combo breaker. He's able to be versatile, move across the lanes. He's constantly in the dark, so whenever you think you have the easy approach for a gank opportunity, he's going to be there to oppose it. But because they went down this road of getting a Dazzle and Earthshaker, who don't really roam too much. They're more defensive kind of supports. I mean, you can get setups, don't get me wrong with Earthshaker, but I don't think they're going to be opposing too much in the jungle. So NiP maybe feel like they can go a bit more greedy with this other support. They get their Enigma. And, well, if Empire do not roam early, do not ward up the jungle, this Enigma will have early free farm.
Yeah, I think a good read here from NiP. Empire does not have the greatest lineup right now for putting pressure on an Enigma. Dazzle, not really known for your aggressive ganking capabilities. And Earthshaker, he can be annoying, but if he doesn't have someone to follow up, you know, a Skywrath or someone else to actually do the damage, he's not really particularly scary either. Both these supports are a bit more defensive, and maybe what NiP was trying to bait out a little bit here so that they could feel a little more safe, soaking up all that farm in the jungle. Now, Empire, what do they do in retaliation? They will burn through some of this reserve time thinking about their options. They need a couple of cores. They'll need their resolution and silent heroes. And okay, we've got a fun core somewhere, Dakota.
Okay, we either got a Crit Shaker or we got a mid lane Rubik.
Either or, I'm happy with it. Both fun.
Okay, well, I don't know if Resolution has played either hero as of recent. But we got a fun one for us. I mean, of all the lineups and games that you need to experiment a bit, I guess game 1 is your best bet here. And we're questioned, we're perplexed, we're puzzled. I imagine NiP's feeling the same thing right now as far as what the hell are they planning on doing with this, huh?
Yeah, I feel like it's more likely to be a core Shaker than a core Rubik. I mean, Rubik's one of those heroes that what does he do with that mid lane farm? Sure, you get your level 6 fast, maybe you get a fast Blink Dagger, Russian Aghanim's if you feel like it's that kind of game. This doesn't seem to be a good one for it. He doesn't scale as well with the farm. The Crit Shaker, though, his issue is on a completely different level. If he gets the farm, he's damn scary, but not the easiest hero to secure farm with, especially against the Shadow Fiend with a Vengeful Spirit who will be undoubtedly rotating around. I think it could be a tough game for the Core Shaker. But maybe it'll be like a safe lane Core Shaker, Bristleback mid, and they'll get an off laner here. Hard to say exactly what Empire have in mind.
I'm trying at this moment right now to look. I look through Earthshaker and Rubik, and of course I'm not a Dota expert like most statsmen are out there. Props to them to doing all their hard work, of course, but I don't see any history, at least on this patch, of Resolution playing either Rubik or Earthshaker, so could potentially be a debut. But or an aggro tri-lane out to Wazoo, who knows? But Witch Doctor now, oh my god.
But who's the core? Is it a core Witch Doctor? Is it a core Enigma? Oh my gosh.
Off-lane Enigma, maybe? Off-lane Enigma? Yeah, right. Off-lane Enigma.
Okay.
Well, this is funky fresh.
It sure is. I like it. I'm just not sure what to make of it. Okay, Resolution takes the TA, which was the last pick from Empire. Silent will be the one to grab the Bristleback. Looks like he'll be the safe lane farmer, and that leaves Yoki to pick up the Earthshaker. Typically your off-lane player, I guess that means it'll be an off-lane core shaker? Is this like an aggro try with a shaker, dazzle, Rubik? That's kind of a funky tri-lane, not one that I would normally think of as particularly potent.
Yeah, my wager is solo safe lane silent. If he's going against Enigma, it's not too terrible. He's got the quills to deal with any sort of Eidolon pressure rather, and I don't see Enigma even bullying back a Bristle in his own right. And then, yeah, a core farming Yoki Earthshaker with an aggro setup. I mean, it could even just be duels at that point. Both teams, I mean, I guess they have the pause to work with as there's a bit of a hiccup, maybe server side or player side, but to really analyze what the setup could be as far as laning goes, both sides have very intriguing lineups.
Yes, indeed. Keeping things interesting for us here in the grand finals. Again, worth reiterating, it is a best of 3. I'm sure there are some disappointed faces out there wondering why we keep saying best of 3 when it's supposed to be a best of 5. It was, but they changed it. Both teams just wanted to get out a little bit earlier tonight. So 2 games away from moving to the actual LAN event itself here in the European Qualifier. Both these teams ready and eager to fight. On the Radiant side, we'll have NiP. It looks like Limp will be the one on the Slardar to be the safe lane farmer. He'll be joined by Hanskin here on the Witch Doctor. Seal Kid takes the Vengeful Spirit. That leaves Era on the Shadow Fiend for the mid, and it will be an offlane Enigma played by Jonas. But it's Empire doing the invade right now.
Yep.
4 heroes on their way through.
You got potentially an Enigma, which they're not certain yet. It could be offlane or not, so they're just like pop, pop, pop. They get these sentries down. They want to block as much as possible here. But to the benefit of NiP, they're like, our Enigma's not going to be in that jungle, so you can go crazy with your wards. We're expecting this, but frantic pinging right here as they just try to scavenge what they can, but they're not going to find it. So for Empire's side right now, Aloha Dance on your Rubik, always want to fly, going to be playing your support duo Roundup on your Dazzle. Up and above, Silent going to be playing the core Bristleback.
Wait, is this going to be a kill? Aloha Dance, now he's stunned up. Seal Kid's rotated over. Oh, he's in the danger zone. It's a first blood for Jonas on the Enigma. Oh boy, a tough way for this game to start for Empire. They hand over the bounty rune, both of them to Empire, but well worth it if they trade for a first blood.
Yeah, out of position there. They were going very aggressive, and then I guess Rubik just got caught out on his own, and people came out from the dark and took advantage of it. So with that,
put that ward down, and it cost him everything.
Well, unfortunately, you're going to get a bit of a boost now for your offlane Enigma, but just to finish things out, Resolution is going to be playing your TA, and of course I am getting word from the Empire Twitter guy himself that Yoki did play the offlane core Earthshaker just yesterday. Fortunately, I didn't get to catch that game. I can't watch Dota 24/7, unfortunately, but it was done before, so he's well versed and used to this lineup. But he will be zoned back pretty hard. But the benefit of your Earthshaker is you got that sweet block, just the same way like a Clockwork does, and you can get the Equilibrium by that tower for the early levels in XP.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what Yoki's done pretty well here off this initial push. Looks like warding up the jungle has worked pretty well for him. Hanskin doing what he can to get some jungle control back. We'll clear out this medium camp here for a pull through, and he's also cleared out the ward that was down here. They have one on the magic bush, but it's actually not quite on the magic bush itself, and I'm not sure if that will block out the pull camp here. We'll have to see at the 2-minute mark and see what it does. But already Yoki level 2, so certainly could be a lot worse for this off-lane Shaker. Enigma still level 1, struggling a little bit. Silent actually getting aggressive on the tower. Really hungry for those Eidolons, but not going to find any kills there quite yet. Mid lane looks great for Era, as he's already past that really difficult part, storing up those souls, and doing pretty well against Resolution already.
We already have the early smoke coming out here from NiP. The support duo that can be more aggressive are eyeballing mid lane. They want to take down Resolution so he can't snowball too early, but it's never an easy task against a TA with that refraction, of course. But for now, they're scouting. Oh, they see Yoki trying to go for the 2-minute rune. They get the stun off. It's going to zone him back while Hanskin can secure the rune. Grabs up that bounty, leaves the illusion at top, which it looks like Empire already on right now. Aloha Dance will be there, so it's a rune apiece here.
Yep. Both teams getting it on the support, so Shadow Fiend will be forced to bottle Crow for now. Looks like he's going to run the courier out and hand off this bottle. Yep, there he goes. TA, did he go for the bottle build here? I think he did. Yep, boots and bottle on the way out for Resolution. So the farming will continue here. So far, it seems like this offlane Enigma hasn't done too much. Jonas is level 3 now, so finding a baseline of experience, but, well, now getting some spaces. It's a 1v1. Supports are smoked up, rotating towards the mid.
They're creeping. They're creeping and waiting. just so ridiculous if you look at the overall lineup from both sides. The minus armor. I mean, even now they have picked up the TA, who is a Desolator candidate. I mean, he could get Roche very, very swift. Either team can, pretty much. It's just which team will be able to itemize that much faster, maybe off the early pickoffs, are going to really be able to snowball quite hard.
Yeah, I think that's one thing that's for sure this game, Dakota, is Roche will be easy pickings for both sides. Whoever can take that first really successful skirmish, I think will just head right into the Roche pit. Maybe the Dire with a small advantage, given that they have TA, and you just get that free scouting tool into the Roche pit. So even though both have a lot of minus armor, you still have that vision advantage.
Yeah, but then on the other side, you got Wave, of course, Seal Kid. So it's not too terrible for him. They can still get the vision if necessary, and well, we'll have to see which team is going to utilize it best. CS score-wise, you can see the top leader, Limp, 22, now 23-5 on his Slardar with free frames to work with. Yoki has to take the long walk back to base. Just occasionally getting some CS with his Fissure. Is level 3.5 about, but he's going to be away from the lane for a little bit of time, and it's going to be quite a while before he can get any sort of mobility to really engage in these fights. He's just hoping that NiP will eventually rotate quite a bit and give him the space so he can find his own way.
Well, Dance camping out that top rune. It's a regen, not going to help out the Rubik all too much as he's already topped off. And down bottom, they'll keep that bounty rune safe for Era. Shadow Fiend swags his way down bottom, already part way through level 5. It'll be TA that picks up the regen, so Resolution can afford to take some damage here. Now, for NiP, I feel like their strategy is a little more cut and dry. They've got Limp free farming. He goes for fast power treads, but Blink Dagger will certainly be in his near future if this farm momentum keeps up. And I think that's when NiP will start moving around a little bit. Maybe they'll wait for Shadow Fiend to get a few more core items, but that'll be around the time they want to start taking fights, looking for pickoffs, and really getting that snowball going. For Empire, I'm not sure exactly when that time is. You've got this free farming Bristleback who will get scary with snowballing, but I feel like with amp damage, all this minus armor, they've got plenty of tools to deal with the otherwise tanky Bristleback. What do Empire have to deal with this scary NiP lineup in terms of all the minus armor and that kind of face rush once the Blink Daggers come out?
Well, they have survivability with Grave. They have Earthshaker with Fissure. Mid lane, though, there's the Fissure being used onto Era. He's going to get trapped in place and really has nowhere to go. So one more right click. It's Resolution who gets the kill. Your first successful gank is going to be coming for Empire's side. Yeah, it was NiP who got that first blood with the early aggression and just ward placement, but with that, Resolution now can build on up. But the other thing is, Era, though he was brought down, curious to see the build. He had the early ring, so I'm like, is this the early makings of a mechanism here? But now he has the Sage's Mask, so I wager he might go down the road. Oh, it's going to be the Aquila grab, but we have Shadow Fiends now, more popular, picking up the Yules. It just seems to offer a bit as far as kill potential and then even survivability sake. You know, you're able to run away. A mech costs a lot of mana, does help you survive, give you a bit of boost on stats, but it's not going to stop a Bristle from chasing you down pretty much. So yeah, I'm curious to see how he's going to itemize for this.
Yules is also a great farming tool on the Shadow Fiend. Gives you huge mana regen, lets you spam out those raises a little more. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Empire pressuring this tier 1 tower quite hard. Hanskin nearby on the Witch Doctor, trying to delay the inevitable here, but not going to be able to do a hell of a lot. Only level 3, and they will glyph. Now they go for it. The Coconut goes flying through. It's only level 1, 2 points in the Maledict. They really want this kill onto Silent, but Limp will get caught in the telekinesis. That'll stop him, and they will not find a kill, but they do get a deny on the tower, so this rotation is not for nothing. Now they smoke up. It looks like they'll head towards mid. Era may be in some trouble here. Jonas is inbound, though. Resolution's hasted up. Now a Fissure breaks things apart, and NiP won't be able to pursue for a kill. But on the top side, Aloha Dance now. There's a stun, and a second from Limp inbound, but he gets telekinesed. And again, Rubik will walk away, compliments of that telekinesis.
I wonder if Limp would have been able to get off the stun first. He took the moment to instead give him the amp damage, but maybe if he pulled out the stun first, he could have got it before the telekinesis, then use the amp after and get a right click or two, which could have been enough. These are theories, of course, but it looked like he might have been close enough to get that stun off. But yeah, no kill going to be there. He heads all the way back to the bottom where he has a safe CS farm, just trying to make the best after rotating all the way to the top where they did get their deny and just going all the way through the map back to bottom. But mid lane, a lot of people stacked up here, and I'm curious to see. It's just kind of a duel-on-duel here where they have Hanskin nearby for Era and always want to fly nearby for Resolution.
Dazzle with that 1 point in Poison Touch, just trying to harass Era a little bit. Like you said, both teams with reinforcements nearby, waiting for their carry to get jumped on. for some foolish dum-dum to spring that trap card and walk right into it, but both mid laners are a little too smart for that. Jonas having a pretty good time in the jungle, does get level 6 right around the 8-minute mark. Pretty good timing here, a little bit behind the golden standard of keeping up with the mids, but still looking pretty good. Seal Kid, meanwhile, blocked out down bottom. It's a race for the bounty rune. Resolution will actually get blocked out a little bit by his own fissure, and now in some trouble. Goes into the Meld Strike. Black Hole utilized for a solo TA, and that'll end up being an easy kill for the Ninjas in Pajamas. Witch Doctor gets credit.
All right, so good grab. I don't think it's too terrible. Most Enigmas who've been jungle farming at this point would be pretty lucky to be able to utilize a big black hole. Ooh, limp. Sprint. The stun will be there on Zyori, plus the EM damage he's done for. So Jonas gets the kill there. Ends up being a 2-man takedown after grabbing Resolution. So good boost for NiP, and now they can use this momentum to push down the bottom tier 1 tower. While all the meanwhile, a quiet, and I guess suiting, silent, farms up in the top lane. He's been getting a lot going for himself. Now has the Vanguard, plus they have the Ancient stacked up pretty nicely here. Something that NiP don't have going for themselves. The Bristleback has some good side farm to even build up on.
Zyori comes back down to the bottom lane. Fissure to try and delay this push. There's still a glyph for the Dire if they want to make a defense. Here's the glyph. No defense will come its way, and this will end up being an easy tier 1 tower kill. Tipping the scales in favor of NiP. 1-for-1 in tower count, although they did deny the one that they lost. Now in the top lane, Hanskin engaged upon by Aloha Dance. Telekinesis back. They split up. And no bounce on the cask. It might have been a successful TP out had he found a few bounces. Now, meanwhile, in the Radiant jungle, Era and Always Wanna Fly going blow for blow. A couple of Shadow Raises are all you need to bring down the Shadow Priest. And Era finds a solo kill. Both teams trading support for support. Though Shadow Fiend getting a solo kill and now moving into a stack. A little more scary than that Bristleback, in my humble opinion.
Well, I guess Dazzle hands his own life over to get a pretty aggressive ward down and the intel that NiP have their own ward right up here on the cliff. In fact, he pinged it out just after he died, so he'll probably be there to de-ward it. Era slowed down mid lane. Resolution does force the TP rotation, which will promptly be canceled, but Resolution just kind of showing that he's the bully here. And Vizrune at the top lane for him to grab up. Ooh, yummy.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And Skin still just playing the off-lane role for now. It cost him his life once, and now he'll just go right back to it. Keep farming away. And hey, speaking of farming, Enigma goes for a Hand of Midas. Very interesting here, Dakota. You don't see this all too often, but Jonas ready to turbo farm on a hero already pretty well known for its farming abilities.
Yeah, just looking to play it a little bit greedy here. Anticipating it's going to potentially be a long game, but I'm just a little bit nervous here for NiP. Silent is going to be pretty grossly farmed. He got that kill earlier after I already acknowledged that he had a nice farm and got the Vanguard. Now he's got this big stack he's working through. Yeah, he's going to be coming online pretty damn fast, and they better have the utility and the items ready on NiP to deal with them.
Yeah, Silent is... He is really feeling good. You said it right. And now I'm curious what item build he'll go into. Maybe an S and Y? Nope, right into the Crimson Guard. So just trying to beef up the team now as he continues to get some more survivability to his name.
I just can't help but laugh. It was at Star Ladder when Shadow Fiend was maybe okay. He was not picked up nearly as often as we saw since DAC. Okay, so the few times he's picked up, I felt like at the time, every time I was joking, like, oh, he could go Yules, because, you know, it was picked up in pubs sometimes, and it was very flashy, and people were like, ha, 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 Yules, that's so silly. But now Yules is, like, the standard. Now Era's going for it, and it's just like, oh, you gotta get Yules. Why would you get mech anymore? You know, you can't do anything with the mech. You're just gonna survive a bit longer. You gotta get Yules. I'm just like, it's just so funny how Dota becomes like that, and, well, we'll see if Era can really utilize it. If he does get a hold of a lot of this Empire crew, if they don't have help nearby, he's going to get a free hero delete.
Yeah. Both teams very happy to sit back and farm. Though only 6 kills in 12 minutes. Much less action-packed than that last series we saw. But for good reason, both teams with some pretty serious hard carries. A lot's on the line here, and going down 0-1 to start off this elimination best of 3 is certainly a bit scary. Jonas with a black hole ready. He wants to fight. It's Empire on the high ground. They get a ward down. Take a look at Dire Vision. They see exactly what's coming. Radiant are going to walk right into it, but it's Limp that initiates onto the Dazzle. They can bring him down before the grave. That will be huge, but they cannot. He survives a bit longer, pulls them into Zyori. He'll still go down. Black hole utilized just for Yoki. Always want to fly, waste a little bit of time, but sets up a few raises. Now in comes Limp. Yoki, as well as the Rubik Aloha dance, caught by the Slitherine Crush and brought down. Silent trying to kite them away on the backside, but they don't go for the bait. And it will end as a 1-for-3 trade, losing only their Witch Doctor.
Unfortunate positioning there. Silent tried to come in from behind. Yoki's fissure kind of blocked him out, and then he proceeded to get zoned back from Hanskin. Hanskin did hand over his own life, but it was valiantly done because Bristle was all attention onto him while the rest of the team took care of Empire. And with that, they got the better trade, they got the better exchange, and they profit the most from it.
Absolutely. Now Bristleback still number 1 on net worth, but that gap is closing as the Shadow Fiend continues to find farm, and like you mentioned, Yule's Scepter will be on the way. Blink Dagger for Slardar debuted down in that bottom skirmish. Did not go for the Vanguard, but the initiation tool, all NiP needed to take a good fight. Now Empire move in towards the Roche pit. Silence stacking up that sticky goo, lowering the armor of Roche, making this a little easier. Radiant do not have too much intel. They've got a ward down on the high ground. They see Yoki nearby. They don't seem too suspicious, though. Resolution walks in Viz. And if they don't react soon, this will be a free Roche.
It's dead. I mean, this is just the early minus armor. The goo starting to stack up.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he even has Crimson Guard now complete, so the minus armor from NiP is not going to be totally nulled and voided out, but it does add a bit of a bonus with the active. It's +2 armor from Crimson Guard. He gets the armor boost himself, obviously, and, well, it's just step 1. I imagine an AC could be next up. In the near future, looks like for now, he's got the Belt of Strength, so a Seijin Yasha, maybe for more mobility and more right-click damage, and, well, more durability certainly doesn't hurt, but getting an AC on this team, I imagine, is going to be something very tasty.
Oh, yeah. For both sides, really. Having that minus armor and then to counteract each other's will be very useful. Jonas breaking down the trees. Uh-oh! That'll reveal their smoke, but too little, too late. And Jonas gets put 6 feet under. Not ready for that 4-man death squad to come his way that deep in the jungle. How unfortunate for this hard-farming Enigma.
So with that, NiP maybe realized that Empire, pretty big right now. Hanskin finding his own bit of solo farm here at the top lane, but he's got good experience. I mean, he's level 7. It's not terrible, but he needs farm, and this is a guy you want to get Agnems on. Definitely in a game like this. He's got 1k gold, continues to add pressure here at the top, maybe seeing if he can get anyone to rotate in through TP, but it's not going to be there. It looks like it's going to be a good old-fashioned trade-off. The bottom tier 1 is going to go down, and NiP try to get it quick. But the rotations start coming in. 2, 3, 4 TPs. Holy moly.
Whoa!
What a time, Requiem. But always want to fly. Gets the grave off. He will live. And now, Era finishes him off with the right click. Meanwhile, on the left-hand side, the ward's going to be dropped, but quickly canceled. Resolution moves on forward. Swap back. Seal Kit tries to find a pocket to hide into. Aegis is going to be popped right there, but Aloha Dance is able to finish him off. Meanwhile, Silent dominating now as he's able to get the kill, but Era gets his own. Lip now gets a cleanup. 3-for-2 trade, and there's going to be the TP out. So with that, Limp makes his way home, and, well, the dust settles. It ends up being a 4-for-2 trade at the end of the day. Advantage NiP.
Oh,
actually, I think more died, right? Did Witch Doctor die there? I don't know if he did, actually.
I don't think
he
so.
made it out. All right, so yeah, big fight for NiP.
Big trade for NiP. Yeah, of course, the Aegis of the Immortal helps tip the scales a little bit. I was kind of watching that second side of the fight with the Shadow Fiend off to the side while there were 2 kind of engagements happening at once. Aloha Dance in the mid. I don't think he's going to die here. Does steal some Eidolons, give Jonas a taste of his own blueberries, and he will go back to safety. But it was just NiP dominating that fight on top of each other. I feel like for Empire, it's more in their favor if they can take a fight that's more grouped up so that Bristleback can hit multiple targets with the Quill Spray. The way that fight settled down, it was basically like him versus Shadow Fiend and Slardar off to the side, and he did some okay damage, but you don't really want your Bristleback to be soloing heroes. You want him up in the front lines hitting as many heroes as possible with those quills.
And plus, he had a bit of a bounty. He had a 4-kill bounty, and I believe Arrow was the one to take it. So, not a good scenario, but he is able to now work with a bit of an ancient stack here to build up the farm. I said Sage and Yasha, but I don't even think Halberd's out of the question for this one. There's some pretty right-click dependent heroes. The evasion could certainly help. I'm just curious to see. More than likely, I wager a Sage and Yasha, but pretty much either item I don't see too far-fetched.
Yeah, really could go either way. It depends if Empire are thinking more like, well, it is not a very good BKB game, I will say for sure. So much physical damage. Black Hole, Swap, Death Ward, all that goes through BKB. I don't know. It's a tough call. Not an easy game for Silent to build. You know, something like a Blade Mail could be an okay option this go around. Get a little bit of extra armor to deal with all the minus armor NiP have out, and also maybe if you get lucky, pop it at the ideal time, return some damage to that Slardar or that Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. Probably the reason we also won't see a BKB built up here on Resolution. He already has a Yasha, so probably the Manta could definitely mitigate a bit of the extra damage. The Death Ward could be a bit of a trouble with that one there.
Wow,
Won't
this
be
is
too shabby.
a pretty wild build on the TA, right? I don't remember who it was. Was it Waga or someone else? I was watching a TA guide, and he was saying you don't really need all 4 of these items together because this is too much mobility almost, where you've got your phase boots, blink, Yasha, drums. It's really good, but do you need that much mobility? At some point, is it more advantageous to trade in one of those mobility items for more damage? But very well-rounded for Resolution. He's got some decent HP thanks to the drums, and now with the Yasha, he may just hang on to it and leave it as kind of a farming tool for a little while. I imagine Deso is a tempting pickup at some point here, maybe after the Manta.
Yeah, Deso gives you the obvious harder right-click and minus armor. Yasha gives him the bonus agility, a little bit more armor for their minus armor. I mean, he's the professional. I'm sure he's got a game plan in mind with this Yasha grab. It's definitely intriguing. But with that, we'll just see how it works out to their favor. So now you get the full Shadow Fiend tool belt complete with the Blink Initiation and now the Yules. No one is safe on their own. So with that, Empire, though, smoke up. Yeah, they're scouting out mid lane. Era might need to use that Blink Dagger to get the hell out of here. Oh, the Fisher's going to connect, and it's just, well, destruction in the mid lane as Era just gets absolutely manhandled.
Yep, not much time to react against that one as they converge on the Nevermore here in the mid lane. Meanwhile, they're trying to take out Radiant Ancients. Looks like a double stack. Enigma doing decent damage. Resolution would love to snipe a few of these last hits, but needs to be a little careful here. Will get the big Granite Golem. Just an Ancient Thunderhide left alive. The Witch Doctor defending the push up top. Does have a TP scroll, could possibly TP into this mid lane if they want to take a fight, but now Resolution initiated on Slardar, hops forward, throws out the amp damage. Refraction comes out, and Resolution will be okay for now. Which is a good pick on the Shadow Fiend, and that'll get a little momentum going Empire's way. They're still at a gold deficit, XP even. They're going to be the aggressors this go around, and they'll move into this tier 1 mid.
Last tier 1 standing on the side of NiP. Love to be able to bring it down and just kind of take themselves to the next level here, but here you already see the amp damage fly out. Limp in full sprint mode here, seeing if he can get a hold of anyone, but just like that, Empire just dispersed. They're like, nope, we're done. We're not doing this anymore. We're out. And they just quickly flee and find their farm elsewhere. So it's just direct communication, like as if they know that this is not the right time. There's too many NiP here at the ready. I'm sure Black Hole is ready to go, so let's just not bother with this. So NiP see them disperse, and they're like, we're not going to allow them to get too far. It's clear that they don't want to engage. Maybe they don't feel comfortable with a team fight. We do feel comfortable. Let's catch them. Limp is leading out the charge here, sees that the neutral camp went down. He's very close to blood, and he sees Aloha dance, and dances on his corpse.
Yep, Aloha dance again. No way to really react. Now they've got this huge creep wave pushing into the tier 2. Perfect timing for NiP. And they'll easily transition this into a push. Glyph comes out. Looks like Empire actually want to make a hold here. And with the Rubik dead, this feels a little risky. Rubik does have a buyback. Defensive weave to get things started as they charge into this tower. Black Hole's ready. They need to be careful about how they initiate this.
Yeah, this is rough, though. You are dealing with NiP really sieging very nicely. With Shadow Fiend and having that range set up, then you get a fall through like that. Limp jumps in, gets the stun, they get the early Maldic. Maldic is a beautiful tool to have against someone like Bristleback, mind you, and he has been leveling it up. He maxed Maldic just for this reason, but now they're the ones on the hunt. Oh, jump forward, Era unleashes the Requiem, not enough to bring anyone down. Aloha Dance the lowest, going to be saved with the Shallow Grave, desperately looking to heal him up, and the Crimson Guard going to be popped. They're on retreat mode right now, but they can't get too far. The Yules is there, sets up on Silent. Can they get the forward stun? They can. Limp's going to catch him off. Weave to help save him defensively, but no, it's not going to happen. They also get Era on the fallback. So only one drop thus far. Silent's still alive. Maldic Curse, the second one on him. Jump in. Echo gets dunked on the Vengeful Spirit. No Empire member has gone down, mind you, and they have turned it back and got Lip. NiP now, the ones to crumble, and Empire withstand. The block is there with the fissure, but there is a small way to snake on through. Handskin just ringing around right here, but he ultimately will be brought down. It is 4 for none now. What an impressive performance right there from Empire. They didn't lose anyone.
Jonas, he's going to TP out. It'll be a little bit of a close call, but he makes it out just fine. There was one problem with that fight, Dakota. I'll tell you what it was. It was this tanky bastard right here, the Bristleback. They put so many resources into the backside of the Bristle. It's in his name, for Christ's sake. The Bristleback, that's not the part of him you want to poke. He did so much damage with Quills and also just absorbed so much of their focus. He was at that break point where the thought process from NiP was just bring him down, just finish him, just finish the damn Bristleback. And that was a very costly mistake. They will get the deny on the tier 1 mid. They did finish off the tier 2 top, so it wasn't for nothing, but Empire finally have some control in this game, and their carries got a lot out of that fight, the Bristle in particular.
Yeah, in the Battle of the Minus Armor, the one thing that Empire have going for him is so much farm behind Silent on his Bristleback. He has the benefit of the Bristleback passive, and they have a Dazzle. So when you think they have all this minus armor, and it's just gonna, oh, this is just one more swat. We'll get him. Just one more hit. He'll go down. Oh, he didn't go down? Just keep going. One more hit, he'll go down. But the armor keeps building up from the weave, and the Bristleback, it's just, when you think it's only gonna get one hit, he's just teasing you. Just keep coming. Keep chasing me. And eventually, they just fall and crumble. The Quills just stack up too much. Their backliners get picked off one by one, and then you get a surprise Echo Slam, and it's just disaster. And now this Bristle's going to be even more farmed than he was in that fight. It's scary, man. I was anticipating how scary it was when Silent had that full range in the top lane to work with, plus the first big Ancient stack. And it just continues to be a dominant force right here.
Yep, Bristle working these Ancients and moving into an S and Y. It looks like it will be Manta on the TA. So Yasha right into Manta style. There it is, completed now. Meanwhile, pardon me, on the NiP side of things, we've got a BKB on the Slardar. So Limp feeling feisty here, ready to charge in, immune to magic, and do some damage. Era, ooh, he's got a Ghost Scepter here, Dakota. Something to deal with all this physical damage. Give him a reset tool. In that last fight, he was isolated around the backside against the TA, and this go around, TA not going to be able to do that kind of damage to him once more, as NiP smoke up his 5.
Hell yeah. Blinkin' Ethblade Requiem Shotgun. That's what I'm talking about. It's magical damage, so why not, right? But
I like it. I like it.
We'll see here. Definitely going to be a useful tool on himself, and if he gets the Ethblade on allies, in case they do get run down by some of these heavy physical dealers here. But no surprise, both teams probably have close watch onto the Roche get up here. But NiP trying to get a hold of any remaining Empire member, but they get the call. Oh, he steals Sprint. Can he use it to get away? Oh, he cannot. Nice catch right there. Eric gets it with the raise. And they end up dropping 2. Both supports will go down on the side of Empire, and NiP benefit from a very small gold boost.
Yeah, very small indeed. But for Empire, I guess from their perspective, it could have been a lot worse. Trading away your 2 supports is about the way that you would want that to go if you're going to have to concede something. They walk into a double damage rune, though. Lucky for the ninjas, as Roche will now be within their grasp. Empire, suspicious of it. They'll start to rotate over. They do have some wards down. They saw them walk into the pit. NiP taking down Roche very quickly. They will get this one. Aegis of the Immortal goes to the Shadow Fiend. BOT's picked up on Jonas alongside his Blink Dagger. He does have a black hole at the ready. NiP eager to fight, and Empire will just back off.
The nice thing for NiP is if they're able to get these picks and that they're able to put Empire in an uncomfortable position, that's when they have the upper hand. It seems like Empire at their best when they're as a 5-man, when they move together, when they have more behind this Bristle. But if they catch out fights when Silent's not there, or maybe if Silent's on his own, things can go dramatically the other way. They have a lot of tools to help with that. You got your swap, you got your Blink Yules, of course, from Era. It can be done, but they got to be careful too. Uh-oh, Arrow gets caught. Another Fissure setup. He ghosts himself here, gets the swap back save. Even the self-fuels, it looks like, for now, and now we'll see if they can turn back. You got Jonas here with Black Hole. He's waiting, but Empire have great positioning. They're spread, and they're letting Silent. Just go. Go, my Bristle. Kill them. Yes, yes. He takes down 1. Now wants to get a hold of Limp. He's forced to pop the BKB. Resolution steps on forward. Big damage from him, but Not enough to finish him off. It's enough, though, to scurry back NiP. Empire get the 1 kill onto the Vengeful Spirit.
That was masterfully done by Empire right there, putting Silent in the front line, staying spread about. No easy window for Jonas to catch a black hole there. Really no easy way to disengage and peel that Bristleback off their Venge once he swapped out to ensure the survival of their Shadow Fiend. Still good that they kept the Shadow Fiend alive, though. Could have been a lot worse for NiP if Era didn't have that Ghost Scepter there. Certainly would have gone down. But now Empire moving to the tier 2 mid. The glyph's already been used. Here we go. Venge is respawned. Jonas wants to use this blink black hole. Empire still with a nice delta split. Silent going in again. But is he in too deep this time? Limp finds him, isolates him, peels him off of Handskin. Now Resolution on his way in. Handskin just regenerating up. They'll turn onto Resolution. It's a death ward. Now the shallow grave from Dazzle. Buys him some space. Shadow Fiend dies off to the side. Resolution still alive for now. Trying to make the great escape, and he will. He lives for now. Limp hops forward, misses the Slitherine crush. Oh, how sad indeed. While we were watching that, Era was on the low ground, isolated, and it will be an Aegis for nil exchange.
He was caught up with the Rubik and Earthshaker, and he actually lost his Aegis in that. Bit of fisticuffs, unfortunately for him. Still has Requiem available. Jonas still has Black Hole. It's nice to always have that threat, but there's no easy setup here. You got to make sure Rubik can't easily steal it. Now they get a hold of him, isolate Era. Era's in trouble. He's going to do the ghost, but it's only temporarily. He gets the blink off in time, but the goo is there. Silent's going to slowly chase him down. He needs some help. Jonas is waiting,
no armor.
But Rubik's in great position. He'll just steal the Black Hole. There's nothing they can do. Echo Slam, they're able to get Vengeful Spirit down once more, but Era does make his escape.
Empire just seem to be outclassing NiP right now. This is just straight out execution. These past little scuffles, these little skirmishes, not a huge amount of blood has been shed, but Empire getting valuable map control by taking out these tier 2 towers, especially the tier 2 mid, a big access point for NiP, and just showing that they have control of this game right now. I feel like on paper this NiP draft is a little more scary, but when you're playing against Empire, it's not about paper, it's about execution.
And they're executing very well. They have a great game plan. They're well spread. They make sure Aloha Dance is always at the ready. I mean, he already has a Blink Dagger, so it's going to be hard for him not to get in good position. Black Hole should be an easy steal, no matter what. And as long as he's not caught in it, even with a BKB or not, if Jonas is able to throw one together, that's not going to stop him from getting what he wants. So it's a hard life for Enigma in this kind of game. Empire's not making it easy for NiP, and that's just more credit to Empire on, like you said, being able to execute, especially when things get a bit out of control in these fights. But they could get Always Want to Fly here, jump in, stun, Malphus follow-up. Is there time to get Brave off? There's not. You may raise that stick in the air, but you're going to the heavens above. But they could get Limp here. Telekinesis actually forces out the BKB TP, and Jonas, oh, the tip of that fissure coming in from Yoki is going to stop him from making his escape. Makes it a 1-for-1 trade.
All right, now in the bottom lane, they're going to set it up onto the... Oh, the resolution there. He'll turn, kills down the Witch Doctor. Now he's on the run. It's like Era just couldn't get the Spirit Bomb there to secure the kill. Now Resolution, Refraction on the run. This speedy build coming in handy when you're trying to run away from the Shadow Fiend. He will make it out. What a play from Resolution. Gets a 1-for-0 and stays alive.
So where are we in this game right now? It feels like one team's able to get the advantage of the map, maybe sneak in a Roche. Either team, whenever they have the advantage to take a Roche, they're going to take it fast, and there's pretty much going to be no contention. Has to come off on the back of a successful fight, but even then, these Aegis seem to just fall so quickly, it's hard to really tell who's going to be able to have the upper hand. Just looking at the net worth, yeah, the top two belong to Empire, and they've been executing very well, but I certainly would not count NiP out of this game quite yet.
No, not yet. It's not an insurmountable lead. About 3,000 net worth, 1,500 XP in the favor of Empire. This is one of the biggest leads we've seen yet this game, though. So it does show that Empire has completely flip-flopped the momentum. But for NiP, one big tool coming to their disposal. It's Handskin here, and he's got himself an Aghanim Scepter. So now that Death Ward going to be bouncing around, doing some voodoo magic, and hitting multiple targets. That is serious. If you can catch a decent black hole, that's the thing against Enigma. Empire might play tight 95% of the time, but if Jonas can just wait for that one weak spot, that one time when they clump up a little too much, there is potential for a big damage to follow a black hole of that magnitude.
Yeah, but you know who's waiting on the other side with a Blink Dagger? It's Aloha Dance. You put that Death Ward down, you think you're channeling it, he's going to be there to snag it up himself. And you got to make sure you're in good position. This is where you start thinking like that next level, like, okay, If he leads off with Death Ward, Rubik will go for that. That leaves my opening on Jonas to jump in with a Black Hole thereafter. Or do we wait, prioritize the Black Hole, expect him to steal that, then use the Death Ward? Like, that's when things kind of get a bit sweaty. I don't know how else to describe it. That's really when you need to be able to analyze what you prioritize as far as initiation and overall team fight.
Seal Kid walking right into Aloha Dance. He's stolen the amp damage, so Seal Kid taking a lot of damage from this Bristle. And yeah, one more set of quills. That secures the kill. Silent now on a dominating streak. Oh, Empire continuing to get some momentum here, Dakota. Dazzle has gone for a Vlad's offering. Look at this, just trying to get anything they can for extra armor to win the arms race. It feels like a Cold War of minus armor versus plus armor. Who's going to come out in the positives?
Yeah, definitely need someone to add that bit of life leech for someone like Silent. Plus, of course, like you said, the bonus armor and damage, and no other real candidate on the team because you went off lane Earthshaker, where maybe like a Tide Hunter could get that utility or something. But hey, it certainly worked.
Oh, Black Hole down bottom,
coming out, and it's not going to be taken because he's caught in it. Arrow follows up, beautiful Requiem. Resolution tries to pop the BKB, but he is done for. They had waited so long to unleash that fury, and with Rubik in the mix, there was no threat.
Hot diggity dog. Jonas survives to tell the tale of that big black hole. 2-0 down in the Radiant jungle, but hey, up top, it's Silent and Limp going blow for blow. Silent committing for the tower. There's a glyph. Now hit by the Slithering Crush. Will BKB, Era, and Jonas on their way in. Silent will finish off the tower. No TP. And no easy way to make a fast escape here. Era with a double damage rune about to expire. Will blink forward. Wants to try and man up here a little bit. Always want to fly on the low ground. He's got a grave. That'll buy Silent some time as Limp comes on in. Can they still bring down Silent? He's on the run. Gets amped once more. Limp charging after him. Era. Ooh, he blinks forward, but a nice fissure blocks him out. Now Limp still on the run. Silent, the speedy devil. He's going to make it away. Again. Limp needs to be careful. He'll BKB now as Yoki comes in. Oh my gosh. Who's chasing who here? It looks like Bristle will barely live. And Limp forced to use his 8-second BKB charge. Rather unfortunate here for him.
What a stop from Yoki right there. Limp was able to move on through, but you can't get the job done with just one person to finish off Bristle. Silent even bought out. I mean, he bought his Assault Cuirass recipe, and I see something like that. I'm like, he probably knows he's done for. Just buy out while you can and you go. But that fissure, man, certainly helped out. Limp was able to hurdle it, but once again, it's just no easy task. You think it's just going to be a succulent, sweet fruit. Like, easy kill, but not a Bristle. Not today.
Not this Bristle. Silent 8-1-4. Boy, is he feeling good. And now moving into that Assault Cuirass like you were talking about, stacking up those armor auras and well, just a Hyper Stone away. All right. Roche up in 30. We'll see who can get him this go-around.
Whoever gets it's going to get it pretty damn fast. And it looks like already Empire in good position while NiP are trying to add pressure towards the top lane. They still have work to do. 2 more tier 2s still stand on the side of Empire to NiP's 1 there at the bottom. So NiP do have the benefit of a close tower, somewhat close tower to TP2 in case they feel the presence of the Roche being done. But at a drop of a hat, it's going to be taken care of. Looks like Empire want to remove that tower. You want that tower, we're going to take it now. So they begin to push on forward. I imagine the plan is to fall back, take Roche on the way out.
Yep. No glyph for the Radiant, so will be an easy tower push. But now Empire will have to look towards retreating back to the base. Bristle does not have a TP scroll, so when they TP back, it will be without him. They'll move into this tier 3 tower and just clear up the creep wave before backing out. Now Empire look towards the Roche pit. 4 heroes there, only 1 TP'd home to repel the push. It is always want to fly on the Dazzle. And Roche gonna fall in the blink of an eye. This is Aegis and Cheese coming for Empire. NiP not in a position to do anything about it.
I wonder if they would have read that situation a bit. They probably could have anticipated Empire were going to be doing Roche, and they could have pushed a bit harder on that top lane, or at least forced more Empire people back. They left the Manta, and it only took always one fly to kind of keep them away. And I guess NiP wanted to play it safe, so they stepped back. Empire, nice long-range fissure, sets it up onto poor little Seal Kid here, who's going to be done for.
He's just trying to play with his seals. Come on.
He's trying to get some wards down. Does get the 1 aggro ward there, but Empire get another good grab. Of course, the benefit, of course, is that they will now have that aura to reduce their damage a little bit, but still, a kill's a kill. Empire happy with that grab. Momentum's on their side as they have the Aegis, and they've already wiped out now all outer towers. breaching the high ground could be coming pretty quick as the probably AC gets complete. He already has the money for the Hyperstone and even a cheese. Yeah, I think they're just going to get a hold of that, and then it's go time for Empire.
I can't imagine what else they'd be waiting for. It seems like they've just kind of out-itemized NiP a little bit with an AC and a Vlad's. A lot of tools to deal with this minus armor and even adding additional minus armor to their mix. NiP not quite at that same point. Looks like Slardar working on Assault Karas, but only has the plate mail, 2,400 gold. Not far away, but still doesn't have it. And it seems like Jonas will be the one to move into, I can only assume as a Shiva's plate mail in his inventory there. Oh, he's getting aggressive. Blinks forward onto Yoki. Needs to be a little careful, though. There's support inbound. Aloha Dance blinking forward. Jonas, say goodnight to the Enigma. The EKB used. We'll just try to TP home. Whoa, Daddy, that was a close one.
That was close, but he makes it out. Does have to expend his BKB for it. Empire recognized that. That might even force them to turn up the juice even further to get this push underway, but man, oh man. Barely makes it out at that point. And just looking at the Slardar, you compare his net worth to the other core, it's pretty low. I mean, he's even below his own Enigma, obviously behind Era. Slardar is not a super easy hero to farm with. I mean, you have to use stun if you want to farm quickly, more single target, whereas Bristle obviously has his quills, has any ability to do stacks very fast. You know, Slardar wants to farm heroes. He wants to kill heroes to get that bit of a boost, but he's not finding it as easy. He is 4-1, which is very, very good, but Silent's 8-1, and he has farm potential. And I just think they're going to be one step ahead.
Yeah, it feels like NiP just needed to do more in the early game. With this Slardar, he has to get that momentum going, use the Blink Dagger to find kills, and has to get that momentum going. It feels like he's done well, 4-1-7, and I think individually Limp has, but as a team, they just haven't been able to make use of their big team fight abilities. I mean, they've had this Aghanim's Death Ward, and I don't think we've really seen one yet. I mean, some of that is to the credit of Empire, positioning themselves well, not giving NiP any easy fights to take. But here we go. Seal Kid jumped on. They find him in the jungle, and easy kill for Resolution. This TA is starting to get out of control here, Dakota, as he closes in on a full Daedalus.
Man, poor Seal Kid was just trying to de-ward that high ground, sees the ward, but as he's trying to take it down, Empire pounce, and they take that ward away. So, still map control here for Empire. This forces NiP to be hurdled up like sheep inside their own base. Forced now into high ground defensive territory. Limp's going to stun Silent here, but Silent, I don't know if he's going to walk away too far from this. Oh, they actually are. Pressure on the top lane is enough to at least force the Rubik back home. And it looks like Empire are going to wait a bit. They still have time on the clock before the Aegis is going to go. And they just want to wait for that perfect window of opportunity. This is a big game. This is a big series there, where a winner goes to Malaysia. Let's not forget.
Yeah, not a lot of time left on the Aegis, so they've only got about a minute. So Empire will need to do something very soon if they see the Aegis as a core facet of their high ground breaking strategy. The Daedalus is now completed on the TA, and looks like Era moving into a Scotty. Has Manta style, and now the double ultimate orb. Actually pretty damn close to finishing that bad boy up. And both sides still continuing to farm a lot. The gold lead for Empire is a fair bit, but still not insurmountable. Only about 7K net worth rather, going their way. Down bottom, ooh, almost initiation onto the Enigma. Rubik scooting forward, thinking about it, but will not commit.
Oh, I can't help but feel like we're going to have one hell of a fight inside the NiP base. Big ultimates on their side, Black Hole, Death Ward, all at the ready with a Requiem to back it on up. Well, Empire have more of that raw, gritty fight style where your TA is looking to unleash some heavy-duty right-click. Now with Daedalus on hand, that is some serious power punching. And, of course, Bristle is more of the long-winded fighter. Now, they got to be careful here. He's de-warding, but they know he's here. They actually get the slow. They also catch out Handskin, who should be able to make the TP away, but once again, Vengeful Spirit's just like, God damn it, can I just get this ward? He just gets brought down again.
Oh, boy. Well, at least the ward is down for now, but Seal Kid just keeps getting punished time and time again. Look at that Venge net worth. Down around 1K compared to the next highest on the chart, 5K on the Dazzle. That really hurts.
That stings. That's me. That's me in my games right there. Like, God, I just want to... Can I get some help? I'm getting red wards, please.
He's got a magic wand, he's got boots, and then some consumables. That's about it. That's about as poor as you get at the 40-minute mark. Straight to the high ground we go. Empire charging forward. They no longer have the glyph, but they still have the not the glyph, rather. Well, glyph has been used, but they no longer have the Aegis. Cheese is still in the inventory of Silent on that bristle. They'll get that tower down to about half health and then slowly back out. Looks like they want to slow siege this as their creep wave got cleared up. And they can afford to do so. Again, that Assault Cross making things nice and easy for him. Slardar has completed his. So sort of zeroing out the effects, but... Well, no, it is completely zeroing out the effects, pardon me. They'll keep this tower alive a little longer.
Loha Dance is in just good position. We saw his huge plays at Starladder on his Rubik. That big Queen of Pain steel turn back kind of a get up right now, and he knows what he's doing here. So it's not going to be easy. Look at this, just stand still. You'd think the game was frozen at this point and people just waiting on what to strike. I mean, is it worth swapping back the Rubik just in hopes to take him down quick and then you can get a follow-up? We'll see here. Jump in, black hole. It's going to be taken. There's the black hole return if he wants it, but he dies. Doesn't quite get it off in time. Silent now in the mix is forced to pop his cheese to get his second life and second win, but he's going to get focus fire now. Oh, what a disaster for Empire. Oh, NiP looking to turn it on back. Silent. Ooh, durable as hell. They're trying to right-click right onto his backhand side, but the Malik's going to be dropped, and he will as well. A double kill for Jonas. Era's dominating. They just did a 5-man wipe of a defense.
It's a 5-0. Holy Toledo. That's a 6,000 net worth trade. And there is one spell that made it happen. It was that Death Ward. Oh my gosh. Hanskin did so much damage in that fight. He had a Ghost Scepter to boot. That bought him some time against all the physical damage. The Black Hole got stolen like you noted, but it just didn't make a difference. They couldn't do anything with it. As soon as Rubik jumped in to grab it, he tanked that Death Ward damage, and it took him down pretty damn fast. Now NiP, all of a sudden, on the upswing. They'll get a tier 2 tower out of this, maybe even more. Buyback status for the Dire team, not looking so hot. Looks like they'll just settle for the last outer towers, but whoo, hot dog.
That, what? I didn't even really look at, was it a 4K gold and XP swing? Plus a tower now? Bounties were probably rewarded. NiP have just evened this game up, in my opinion.
More than that.
Back.
Gold is broke even. Now they have the experience edge all of a sudden. Shadow Fiend will become the highest level in the game, and, well, that's going to help out the Venge quite a bit. You look at her net worth, she's nearly doubled it following that fight. Good news for the Seal Kid.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I wish I could roll back and watch that one again. I mean, I don't know what happened with the positioning. Maybe just either really good positioning on Witch Doctor with that Death Ward, and Rubik couldn't get him inside the Black Hole to at least stop the Death Ward channeling, or he just didn't even think about that and was just like, oh, I got a Black Hole. I'm going to jump in and just throw it on into the mix and be fine. But he just took an ass beating. There's no other way to say it. And he didn't even think a Black Hole came out on the other side. It was absolutely ridiculous.
Well, now Jonas, he made out big from that fight. He picks up the Aghanim Scepter and a Shiva's Guard on this Enigma. So now that we're 40 minutes plus, that early hand of Midas pickup that he's now sold back, really paying some dividends. And this Enigma, effectively 6-slotted here. We'll be able to dump the mech, maybe upgrade into something a little more potent as this game continues on, but now really upgrading his damage output. Of course, you can stack the Midnight Pulses, the one from the Black Hole and the one that you can put down yourself, and that is some big, big damage that this Enigma has potential to do. And of course, that is HP percentage-based damage, so we'll continue to scale as this Bristleback gets bigger.
Man, oh man. NiP now. That has certainly boosted their confidence. They try to take control of the map back. They can move on forward. Poor little Vengeful Spirit can finally get a shirt. Got a chainmail, at least for now. And with that, maybe it's their turn to cross the river and add some pressure onto the Empire side. But first things first, Roche has got to be up soon. Already Empire scouting it out. The clock is ticking. We got just a few more seconds till it's there, but it's not going to be in good time. They jump in. They always want to fly here, and it just takes 3 quick chops. And your support goes down. This Roche will come up, but with all this minus armor, it's not going to last very long. Poor Roche, by the way. He's back from the dead. He's like, hi, guys. Oh, crap.
Oh, no. Minus armor.
I just got here.
This is unfortunate for NiP, actually. They scout out the pit. They see Roche isn't up yet, and he spawns about a second after they walk through the pit. They do have the Howl from Venge, the Wave of Terror. That'll scout it out. Now they see him. Dazzle down for another 30. He does not have a buyback here, so won't be able to get into this fight. On the other side of it, they catch Era out. Oh, no. Now a buyback from Era. Silent, he pops the BKB, goes forward, finds Steelkid and Hanskin. He'll focus onto Steelkid, finds a kill there as he bashes him down. Meanwhile, in the mid, Limp going on to Resolution. The bot back era, he is here. He's ready to fight, and he finds the kill. Scotty plus the AV damage makes it easy. Now a buyback on the TA as they find Bristle off to the side. Hanskin just trying to live, and he will. Now pops the ultimate, brings down the Bristleback. Buyback on him to boot. Buybacks aplenty. It's a 4v4 on the field. Who's actually left with the advantage now? It's still NiP with a couple of key ultimates.
Certainly is. They've been nursing some of these ultimates, and they really did a nice job spreading apart Empire. It looked like Empire had the jump ahead, scouting out Era on the low ground. They commit the Echo for it. They take him down, but he just quickly buys back. And the fight breaks out in the mid lane amongst supports where they're able to take apart the Rubik pretty quick. He drops Gem. Gem now gets picked up from NiP. And with that, Bristleback dealing with the Witch Doctor, who has a Ghost Scepter, can't even kill him that quick. And it was enough time to stall out, allow the backup to show up, and they finish out Silent. Now he buys back, and NiP are like, well, we won't do Roche. We'll force you to just waste that money on your buyback.
Well, will it be wasted or not is the question. Who can secure the Roshan? NiP have the buyback advantage now. Only 2 available in the game, and it's on the Slardar and the Enigma. Both of them with pretty sizable economies right now. Here we go. Resolution blinks into the pit. This is Radiant Vision we're looking at. Hal scouts it out. They sort of see the TA silhouette in there. They fly the courier over, sacrifice their courier, but they do get to see Roche. So I guess they have dubbed that a worthy sacrifice. Limp goes in, misses the crush. Blink out from TA. Nice reactions. Roche still with a lot of hit points.
I have to be on like full zoom out just to see where the hell everyone is positioning themselves around this Roche pit. Everyone is just spread all over the place. Keeping eyes, keeping focus. It's crazy. And when you don't know where some of those backstaff that support are, that's when things can really bite you in the ass. You got to make sure you keep your Rubik in check. You got to make sure Enigma's not going to be popping out of who knows where. He has an Agnums now. Not even a Bristleback will withstand that. If he gets Midnight Pulse down with the Ags, the more life this Bristle has, it's just going to make it worse for him.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. He picked up that Skull Basher. We saw it come in handy in the last little fight. So ready to get some more RNG going. Resolution back into the pit. They see NiP have backed off a little bit. He can solo it down. He blinked in from the backside, so they don't know what's going on here. NiP may be suspicious, but they have to move in sooner rather than later. I think this Roche will go the way of Empire. Their Venge had to TP back. She's their scouting tool. They won't charge in without the Howl. It's the right call, but it's going to cost them a Roche. They've got to go in, and they've got to go in now. It's TA that gets the Aegis. Cheese on the ground. Yoki blinks in and picks it up. And NiP forced to sit on their heels and just watch that text pop up to say that Roshan has already fallen. You, sir, are too late. Do not collect $200. Do not pass go.
Yeah, it seemed like Era's like, this isn't happening. He went towards the top lane to make the push there. Stars didn't line for NiP, but Empire, man. They had already pulled out that buyback on Silent to make a contention at Roche. Well, they get their Roche. Now they got to make the best of it. Having this extra life, this time hoping not to get stalled out to where it expires, certainly could have been a game changer in their previous mid lane engagement. Uh-oh, Era gonna get caught out here. Telekinesis is gonna lock him in place. He already used his buyback, mind you. Oh, self-fuels. Can he blink out 1 second? Oh, the Ghost Scepter, he blinks out. He makes it away. Oh my God, can he get far though? The slow's gonna be there. He needs help. Where is my team? God damn it. Oh, the right click is there. No uphill miss. He goes down 2 minutes. No buyback.
Meanwhile, Silent in the mid lane. Maledict flies through. They've got the damage to bring down the Bristle. So it's a 1-for-1. Jonas BKB TP. He lives. 1-for-1 still as Limp and Steelkid are on the run. Limp, he'll BKB TP as well. Steelkid, well, it'll come to a surprise to no one that he gets left behind and dies now for the 10th time this match.
And even with Vengeance Aura on Templar Assassin, she still hits like a frickin' truck. 166 plus 65 on base, but with plus 129. That's not going to change a whole lot. So no Bristle, no Era Shadow Fiend. Empire still have Aegis. Feeling pretty confident that they can add some pressure here. Or do they want to wait? Wait for Silent, have their 5-man in Aegis, and make the go there.
They do still have quite a bit of time on the Aegis before it expires, so only 2 minutes eating into that timer. They can afford to be a little more patient here. TA may just want to finish up that Butterfly before they take a full-fledged fight. Only 1,000 gold off. She'll farm that up pretty quick. Zyori on this Earthshaker. He's getting pretty big as well. 4-staff Yules to go with his Blink and Cheese. Always on a fly, maybe thinking about an Ag, still carrying that Stolen Gem. And Aloha Dance. Looks like Aghanim Scepter may be the name of the game for him. Get a little extra range on that spell steal. All right. So things coming together for Empire, but I think they definitely want to make good use of this Aegis, unlike some of the others.
I mean, of all games, if you can get to the luxury point of picking up Aghanims in this game as a Rubik, please do so. I mean, you got Enigma, you got Witch Doctor. Those are some pretty spicy ultimates to have with that bit of extra boost. So, no surprises there. Hasn't really had fortunate luck being able to get one of those big ultimates and utilize it well, but there's always the potential. So, really now, where do we stand at this point? Era's about to come back, Silent at the same second, mind you. Both back and ready to go. Aegis still on the side of Empire here. Both teams just kind of farming what they can. Eventually, though, these Titans will have to clash, and this is only game number 1.
That's exactly right. A lot on the line, but still a little bit of buffer here. Whoever loses this one will be 1 game away from elimination, where you walk away empty-handed in this qualifier. Only the top 1 can move on to the main event, the LAN Finals, where the big 6-figure prize pool is at. Resolution now with a butterfly completed, but no inventory room for it. Not sure what he's going to drop in exchange. Of course, he will lose that Aegis eventually, but we'll see what they do with it. What's the play here, Empire? Time is ticking on that Aegis of the Immortal. You've got about a minute and a half left, and I think that's a sign that they're probably just going to throw this one away, let it go down, and well, live to fight another day.
I mean, based on net worth, we're even. So might as well just start the game over at this point, but give everyone the few bit of luxury items they managed to pull together. And really, who just has the advantage at this point? Slight nod, of course, for Empire to have that Aegis, but this is where execution matters the most. NiP have already put together one strong, very strong, solid high ground defense. They didn't even lose their tier 3 for it. But we'll just have to see. This is where it matters the most.
Slar, he's got himself minus 12 armor from his items with the Desolator and Assault Cross, and another minus 20 from the amp damage. That is a minus 32. Holy crap, that's a lot of minus armor the Slardar can put out. And that's not even factoring in the Howl of Terror or the presence of the Dark Lord. Another 6 on the Shadow Fiend, and what's Wave? Another 5, another 6. Another 6 here when it's maxed out.
Math numbers.
Yep, so that's like over 40 minus armor they can put out, and, well, against the Dazzle, they're going to need it. That Weave has been a pretty key tool on the side of Empire for damage mitigation this game.
Yeah, I mean, you could just say the same for the other side. They have Weave, which is obviously going to give 1.25 armor per second for, how long is it now? 24 seconds. You got the Goo, you got their own AC, you got, well, they don't have Desolator yet, so they don't have that benefit, but the minus armor is real. I don't think I've seen more in one game in particular, so whoever they decide... The thing is that this is for mostly the focus of one, with the exception of Weave. Whoever they're able to get a hold of, it just doesn't matter. I mean, we saw how quickly they were able to take down Silent right after they dropped Air on the other side. If you get the focus there, even a big tanky Bristle won't be able to withstand it.
Yep. We have officially entered late game stalemate territory here, Dakota. Zyori is closing in on an Aghanim Scepter here for the Earthshaker. That is one thing that NiP will have to be wary of, is just dealing with the Earthshaker when they try to break high ground. And if they feel like they want to just try and move up that way, I think they're going to have to take a fight outside of the base and at least get a few pickoffs, as that Aghanim's upgraded dunk will be quite potent. They will do a 5-hero smoke, though, into enemy territory. NiP, the aggressors this go-around. Slardar already used his sprint. They're going to find Aloha Dance. Who are they going to bump into? Looks like they'll go for the Bristleback. Or will they? Silent gets off the BKB. Oh, but he's just taking too much damage. That minus armor, it hurts. It hurts.
Wow. That, plus even the little bits and trickles of Midnight Pulse, like everything, is just targeted against this Bristle. He may be a big bristly back, but the minus armor, the percentage of life loss from Midnight Pulse, he don't care about none of that crap. And with that, they take down Silent, who does have buyback. He's gone for over a minute, though. And this is NiP's time to pressure. And at least force out the buyback.
That Bristleback alone is a 1,500 net worth trade. Everybody's getting pretty valuable at this stage of the game as we're all capped out. Aghanim Scepters are ready. Shadow Fiends are getting big. 4,300 gold on Era right now. Talisman of Evasion, probably thinking about a Butterfly. but still feeling pretty farmed. Now, Bristle, like you said, buyback ready. TA has one coming up in just a couple of gold here.
Okay, there's the lift. Man, this is just really sketchy stuff. Yoki is in a way back position, hoping for the epic dunk to really bring this one back, but the slow siege pays off. NiP simply want the tower, and they walk away. That's all they really cared for.
Yeah, I think they'd like to force a buyback there, but aren't willing to commit much more than that to try and do it. Smart play from Silent, just to hold the buyback, not overcommit there, and realize that NiP really just wanted to test the waters and see what they could get away with. Shadow Fiend just goes back to farming, and it will indeed be that butterfly, picks up the quarterstaff, and the farming continues. So after a nice little strike like that, NiP get a very minor little upswing in their gold graph. But everyone just goes right back to farming. Limp scouting out Roche, and it's going to be a very fast Roche here, Dakota. Only
Very
a couple
fast.
of seconds.
Is that like a, that's that like a seconder? Jesus.
It's like eight seconds past the timer. Yeah, Limp.
Roche is just like, God damn it.
Oh, this is a tough game to be a Roshan, that's for sure.
Oh man, Empire though, if their eyes are on the clock, they know that this is the soonest moment that a Roche could spawn up rather, and they better be on it. But how could it be that quick? And there's no way it's that short of a clock, right? No, it is that short. You just lost your chance to get the Aegis, and NiP have picked it up, and now they're the ones with the advantage.
Yep, Limp, he's the one to grab the cheese. A small stroke of luck goes the way of the ninjas in pajamas. And now they look towards breaching the high ground. A refresher up on the Enigma to go with the Aghanims and that Shiva's guard. Jonas is 6 slotted, and he is a big papa to the max. We'll see if NiP can do it here. I think that Butterfly should be coming on the way pretty soon. Courier going to have to swing by the base. Era wants to make sure he has the gold for buyback, but should have plenty. Blinks right to the high ground. There is a glyph available for Empire. They won't use it just for ranged barracks, I don't think, and they will not. Manta Illusions will just finish it off. Already a victory for NiP. Now they back out. The slow siege continues, but around the backside, Silent comes in. Lip blinks forward, but now the BKB's used. Jonas goes down first. Seal Kid shortly after. Buyback used by Jonas. He does have BOTs. Will BOT in towards the mid lane. Hanskin and Era up top, kind of isolated by themselves as Lip now just trying to survive. Resolution comes in, brings him down. Now Enigma isolated. BKB, first black hole on 2. Always want to fly, taking a lot of damage. Silent, oh, Aloha Dance gets it. Jonas knows it. BKB's now black hole on black hole again. It's nothing but Event Horizons this side of the Mississippi, Dakota, and it will be NiP that comes out ahead. They force a buyback onto the Dazzle, but Era comes in with alongside Limp, and they clean it up and take a successful team fight.
The refresher double black hole, you don't see that one coming. And with that, Rubik, he gets, well, unwelcome with the black hole right back in his face. And with that, though, dieback going to be down here for your Enigma. He's out 100 seconds. No buyback for him. More buybacks come out. Empire, they just start steamrolling back the other way down this mid lane. And quickly, NiP need to formulate some sort of game plan defense here. Without their Enigma, without their black hole, this is going to be rough.
This will be rough indeed, but very risky from Empire. They'll burn all of their remaining buybacks to go all in on this push. They need to make something happen. Era does have 2 lives to work with, but no Requiem for another 50 seconds. Could this be the GG push from Empire? No buybacks available on NiP outside of Era, especially that Enigma. There's a swap to get it started. Resolution taking huge damage from the tier 4 towers. Crimson Guard helping him, but is it actually enough? Bristle back in the front lines, forces out a BKB onto Limp. Now Era pressing pretty far forward, gets slowed down, in some trouble. Cheese is on the ground. Limp taking some damage, now repelled. Era's still alive. They're holding the base for now. Hanskin with a big death ward bouncing around, softens up Empire, but they will keep their forces alive. They get the kill onto the Vengeful Spirit. It's a 5v3. Limp, Slitherine Crush on 2. Now he'll get turned around on. In comes the Shadow Fiend doing what little damage he can, but Limp, he's in trouble, and now he's dead. And they will get the kill on Dazzle. Both of them have bought back recently. They'll be stuck in the grave for a while. Era getting low, doing what little damage he can. He'll fall. That's the Aegis of the Immortal. Dakota, is Empire winning off this push?
They can do it. Empire, they still have the Echo Slam. Era's the lone hope right here. Enigma and Venge almost back, but I don't think it's going to be enough. They stun lock him in place, and Shadow Fiend hits the
Buyback.
deck, immediate buyback. They're trying to go for the jugular here. They don't care about racks. They want tier 4s, and they want the win in game number 1. There's a swap back. Silent could be in trouble. Look at who's back. It's going to be Jonas. They're able to finish him off. Midnight Pulse going to get dropped. Resolution trying to get the job done. Shrine now down to half-life.
Oh,
There's going to be the
blink.
slip to the other side. Resolution continues to drill it home, trying to go for the throne, but they focus fire him. Stolen Requiem going to be used. Aloha Dance scoots away to the south to try to avoid any more danger. Empire got to get the hell out of here now. So they just try to go out in the retreat. And with that, they walk away. They bring down NiP's throne to below half-life at this point, which will regen up slowly over time. Resolution barely still alive, going to be saved from the Fissure, and they make it on out. Oh my god, I've never seen a team get so close to finishing the game, and then they got to get the hell out.
That was a bit of a backfire, I think, is an understatement. They don't get anything but a ranged barracks out of it. They get the towers, but the Ancient is still standing. Now, I think Empire can still win this pretty easily. They're in a pretty good spot. If they take any kind of a good fight against NiP, they'll just bum rush the throne. But now NiP, they may try to go all in here. Bristle down for 60 seconds, no buyback. They may try to make it happen. They've got the double black hole up. This might be the make it or break it for NiP.
This is ridiculous. This game has been so freaking topsy-turvy. I mean, coming into this, it's hard to say which team is going to really have the upper hand. Obviously, Empire probably coming in the favorites. Even Dota 2 Lounge had them at about 64% odds favorites, but NiP looked pretty damn good today and good against Polar, wiping them out. So with that, it's them going on the forefront. They get the Fissure to slow down the roll here, but here comes the right clicks. They're going. 20 more seconds, and Bristleback will be back for the final hurrah for Empire's defense.
Now, Empire have a glyph. There we go. They'll use it after the tier 3 tower goes down. Melee and range barracks exposed, but what a dunk! It connects on all of NiP. Now they're in a lot of trouble. Shadow Fiend channels a Requiem, but it's stolen. Now one black hole used. He'll refresh it and go for the second. Rubik's stolen one of them. He'll go in. That's a Jonas black hole. Secures the kill on TA. Locks in the Dazzle. He's going to go down. Aloha Dance will keep the black hole, but is relegated back to the well. Now Limp taking a lot of damage. He'll go down. Yule's utilized on the Shadow Fiend. There's the stolen black hole. It's going to cost Era his life. In comes Yoki. Slam jam. Thank you, ma'am. Down goes the Shadow Fiend. It's just Jonas left behind. He'll go down. It's a 5-man wipe as Empire save their base and can completely clean up NiP. Oh my.
Is what the fuck mode turned on or something? I'm seeing ults all over the place. I saw like 2 or 3 Requiems, 4 black holes in that fight. Holy moly. Empire, man. Whoever wins this deserves it. They managed to truck through another strong defense. Now they got to go back the other way and take it right back into NiP territory. With still Era down, 90 seconds, no buyback, Enigma down. Your 2 supports are the last hope.
Even
this
just
is
look
over.
at the Dire base. They're getting chopped on by these creeps. They're moving into the tier 4s. NiP, they've got backdoor protection right now. Creeps haven't even made it to the base. They're holding on a little bit longer. If anybody could BOT and rat it, this could get very interesting very fast. But no, backdoor protection will be broken, and the Radiant Throne will go down. GG well played is called. After the throne dies, it'll be Empire that takes game number 1, but boy, does NiP make them work for it. Now this best of 3 gets interesting as Empire just 1 win away from securing a spot in those LAN finals.
Holy moly, both teams just put on such a good performance. I don't even know what else to say. I'm looking forward to even watching the stream delay just to see that last fight unfold. It was ridiculous, and I haven't seen anything like that in Dota in a while, if ever. Just so many ridiculous ultimates. Holy moly. Props to Empire. They get it done, but that just makes things more exciting for game number 2 of this best of 3.
Yeah, absolutely. This is clearly any team's taking for this series. They seem very evenly matched, 63 minutes in, and it was a slugfest such as that. We're going to have a break, guys. Then game number 2 of this grand finals here for the Major All-Stars. I'm Zyori, he's Dakota, and we're coming back after this short break.